Would you play Survivor again?
Oh, hell yeah. Take me back right now. I'm ready to go. I've been working out.
If we get another heroes versus villains season, which tribe would you want to be in?
I think villains are more fun. Yeah, why not?
All right. um, Going into one of the biggest parts at the end of your journey, how do you feel about the rift between you and Cassidy watching it back? I thought, and probably other fans thought, that it started from a lie because Sammy says Cassidy was gunning for you. I talked to Cassidy.
Mhm.
She was like, I was. So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
fair. So at least it didn't start off on a lie. But yeah.
I mean, and that's the hard part, right? Is when you see Sammy say that, the internet's like, Carla, why would you ever, like why would you gun after her? But that was the truth. And so I was able to confirm it and she confirmed it. And it's like, I'm not acting out of spite. It's the truth, which she didn't see. I think it's unfortunate because like we're the last remaining women, and I hate for it to be that it was the way that it was out there. I was in the mentality that it's a game. It's a game. We're not here to make friends. This isn't about making best friends. This is about winning $1 million, and it's a game. And so, especially towards the end of the game, I knew I was at the bottom, and I had to do what I had to do to try to stay in the game. And I call it. I've been telling everyone this was my Daenerys Targaryen moment. Like if I have to swing at everyone, I will swing at everyone. I clearly swung at myself. And so it's just, it's sad because there's so much respect that I have for Cass. And I feel that the show just made it seem like all these boys, and the two of us were just riffing because of the boys. Why was it like that? I mean, why did they set it up like that? It's just unfortunate.
Very, because I think it would actually give kudos to Cass's game a little bit more if they even did like included that she had the forethought of like, yeah, I'm working with Carla, but Carla's also a big threat. So part of the
Mhm.
good storytelling. So, okay. You knew you were at the bottom. You were fighting for your life. You were trying to get Cass to target Jesse. It was not working. You then threatened Cassidy, saying you could sway the jury. She did everything that you and James were doing on Coco. She took offense to that. I think one of the main questions, did you follow through on that?
No, listen. I feel like everyone's coming after me right now because they think that I had the power to sway an entire jury.
Mhm.
Um, we all sat down at this table and we all talked about it. The moment that Jesse came onto Ponderosa, it was kind of like if Cass would have gone to fire against Jesse and or beat Jesse at fire, I would have voted for her. I have no hard feelings about her. Like I would have, and if she could have told the jury, like if she had a move, that for me was like, what was the move? That's the hardest part, but I still written her name down. If she would have like gone to fire.
I think
So
the frustration is with that because we're now getting to a point where almost winning the last immunity hurts your game than it helps your game. If the perception is always, but did you make fire though? And since the game is
yep.
outwit, outplay, outlast, outplay, you can argue that's the challenge when outwit is literally, I picked the guy who made the record of fire making to go against
Yeah,
Jesse. Like, why can't that be credited to her? Why is it
that's
taken?
a good,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a really good question. Um, I think that if the final three did not have very similar games, right, where the three of them didn't make bold moves or big bold moves, which is what the jury wanted to see, then I think it would have worked, right? So she came in with a resume and then said, "I'm gonna send Gabler and have him beat Jesse." We would have been like, "Fine," because you already have a resume that you're chilling on, right? Like we're still going to vote for you regardless. But for us, it was what is the distinguishing factor between the three of you who played very subtle games. We need a big hurrah because the three of them didn't have big hurrahs. So that's what it was.
Um, another question, because I was surprised that you and Sammy were so close. It
Yeah, yeah.
shook me as someone who was like standing you. I was like, I thought I knew your game so well, and then this came out of nowhere. So, can you explain basically post merge? Was it, did Sammy become your new number one, or was Sammy and Cassidy on equal footing? Like, what was going on there?
Yeah, okay. So for the Janine vote, Sammy, I believe it was Janine vote. I don't know if it was Janine or the Ellie vote. I think it was the Ellie vote actually. I think I forget actually. My memory is so messed up. But I know that there was a moment right at the merge where Sammy was like, "What's the vote?" Right, and I was like, "Sammy, trust me, we're voting Ellie." I think it was Ellie or Dwight, one of those two. And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Please trust me." So that, and he voted with us. And so that I was like, all right, there's trust there. We got on the island and then we just started driving about music, about San Diego. He loves UFC. I love sports, right? Like, and he's like a little brother to me. And so that, and then when the James vote happened, he said, "Karla, you know how you told me to trust you with the let's call it the Ellie vote because I don't remember right now."
I think it was.
He's like, "You need to trust me now with the James, and let me tell you why." And so that's kind of what happened. I think for me at the merge, both Cass and I just kind of we went our separate ways in a way, right? Like play your own game. We're all playing our own games. It really becomes individual at that point. So I wasn't like we're gonna be allies to the end. I was like we're gonna do our own thing and we're gonna make our alliances, and that's kind of how it played out, which is why I was able to make such good relationships with Sammy and with Jesse and
Mhm.
even Cody.
So you were one of the many power players this season, but at the end, it started to be the power players were almost taking out their shields, and therefore at
Yeah.
the end you have only the subtle. Um, yeah, what I know at the end, well, you were being tricky because at that live tribal, you were like, Jesse, let's work together. But you had that one vote on Jesse just in case he did play it on you. But was there any thinking of like, let's keep these bigger players so they're not going to look at me next?
Yeah, I think well, I think that's in a way, I feel like the James vote out, he was such a big shield because everyone thought that James was calling all the shots at Coco. So in a way, I feel like that could have helped me a lot more if he would have stayed longer. But Sammy had told me that he was threatening to take my idol, which I was like, "What idol? What are you talking about?" Which it was easier for me to vote him out. But yeah, and I think that you didn't see really Jesse be as strategic out there because he played such a great social game. So for me, the other shield was Cody. But then obviously Cody got out. And I was like, oh, it's me. Hi. And so that's where I was like, let's go, which is fine, which is fine. That's the only way I would have wanted to go, right? You go down fighting. So it's okay.
When you say yes, when it's like about to come, I was like, this is like an opera or something. I don't know what was going through your mind when you saw like, okay, it's coming.
Okay. Do you remember? Did you watch White Lotus?
Yes.
The okay, when Tanya starts shooting, she
Yes.
gets the gun and she's about to come out.
Yeah.
That was me. Cause I'm like, I lost the immunity challenge, and I'm like, all right. And I'm at camp, and I'm like, smile, very mischievous smile on my face. I'm like, let's go. I'm ready. I'm gonna say what I have to say. I don't care. It's a game, right? So I was like, all right. And that was me. That was me just pop, pop. I don't like whoever it was like that's I was gonna swing. That's all I had left. And I wasn't gonna go down and just like have, beg people and be like, feel sorry for me. No, I was gonna leave a splash. And I think I did.
Yeah, I definitely think you did. Do you have any regrets on how you made that splash since you're getting some guff for it?
Listen, no regrets, no regrets, because the way that, my mentality out in the game, it's a game, right? And so I regret nothing. But if I could tell anyone right now who's listening and watching and ready to read my stuff, there were 7 votes. There were 7 votes. Why me, right? Like, why is it that I was like the I was I don't, I wish I had that much of a voice to sway an entire jury, but that's not the case. And so that's the hardest part is, but you know what? Like, it's a game,
Yeah. I think
y'all.
the hardest,
It's a
I
game.
think the one thing is like, and it depends because I just watched Big Brother. There was someone in Big Brother who was like, if when I go to jury, I'm gonna turn everyone against you. And then it was like not the most convincing person. So it's like, okay, you're having a hissy fit right now. For you though, you're a very
Yeah.
capable player. And I think when you threw that out, it had a lot of weight. It really was like we saw Karla get rid of their ally when there was like a knowledge is power. We saw Karla like do all these things. Like how could she not be possible? So I think that's like kind of the hard part of when you come off as like a very capable and
Yeah.
persuasive person and then say you might do it. It's like, oh, this is rough.
Yeah. I know, I know. And I remember leaving the game and I was just like, I said that. You know, I was like, I said that. But luckily the jury knows. The jury knows. Ask the jury. Ask the jury. Anyone, ask the jury. They'll tell you. So,
I did. Well, I asked Jesse, and Jesse was like, I was still in my own headspace after everything. That turnaround was too much. I have
yeah.
no clue what else happened. But no, I believe you. You really wanted to do the hold your breath challenge before even going into the season. Did you do any prep before leading to that cool win?
Yeah, I swam a lot. I actually swam every day, up to like I think it was like 3 months in advance. I was just swimming every day. I was lifting lots of weights. It's funny because I smoke cigarettes when I drink, right? So I was like, how the hell did I outlast, all these people with my smoker lungs? Um, but for me, it was really I swam every single day and just try to see how far I can go without holding my breath, and how many laps I could do. So I think that, and I scuba dive. I'm PADI certified. People don't know that. So I love the water.
You're a fish, basically. So my last question for you, as a queer woman myself, I was already like cheering for you, just seeing your cast
Thank you.
picture. So yeah, what does it mean to you being a Latina queer person who made it so far? And I think you made such a great mark on the game.
It's it's an honor. It's an honor. I feel like I am paving the way, right? Like I didn't see people like me. I never saw someone that looked like me on the show. Someone that I could be like, I could be just like them and still be good at the game. So in a way, even seeing myself on TV, I'm like, that's me. And I hope people are watching it and they're like, okay, if she can do it, I can do it. And I just hope to inspire people. I want to see more queer representation on the show. I want to see more queer women on the show. I want to see more women not be afraid to step outside their comfort zones. Um, that's really why I applied to be on this game because I was like, I got to change this up.